Hi everyone, it is the Betula Witch. I'm on Instagram primarily and then also transitioning into Facebook and Twitter as well. I haven't really branded, I guess, my YouTube, but this will be my first video. So today I wanted to talk about, let me just start with this new moon energy that's coming in. So it's intense, it's wild, full moon's in Capricorn. So everybody's in their feelings apparently. For me, so far, this has been like a very peaceful transition. Nothing's been like honestly too crazy with the energy, but this is definitely a time of change. I think a lot of people are really just like feeling it. They're not even really looking how do you say, like, too much elsewhere. I think like before anyone even goes to like a page to look up stuff, they're just like, stuff is kind of changing. The energy is really different right now, and I think that is a beautiful thing. A lot of us are really fed up with our life and the way that it's going. I know I am. And, appreciative of the good things that have happened in life, but we also want to move forward into new, better things. And also, like, a lot of people aren't happy with everything that's happening in the world, from like mismanagement of natural resources and people like dying in mass, not enough like aid and funds being going around to like kids being locked in cages. There's a lot of people that just aren't really happy with what's going on, and there's definitely like a really odd transition taking place. I think that everything that's happening right now is kind of going to be a gateway into how we can move forward in the future. So what I also want to talk about, I guess, is like the solar eclipse, like the astrology for the next couple of days. So I do watch the Leo King here on YouTube. I really like his breakdowns of what's happening on an astrological level, and then I do also like to follow Chani Nicholas. And who else? Like the Trap Witch, just like, a couple of different people about what's happening going on with like astrology and even like just energetically, things like that. So eclipse season is about to start, and eclipse season is always really wild. We have really wild weather phenomena. Things get really like shaken up in our lives, if not, physically, like emotionally and mentally. We start to really think about where we are in life. Is this really like my best? Is this my potential? Can I be doing better at this time? And I think a lot of us can be doing better at this time. So we're trying to bridge that gap between where it is that we are and what's happening like with our vision. What do we see ourselves doing with, like, if we're creating a business, or if we want to be like a better employee, what have you. How is it that we get from like our standard of where it is that we want to go and where it is that we see ourselves, to how do we get there? How do we make these action steps? How do we break this down into pieces so that not only is it easier to attain, but I'm also not like, oh my God, I'm freaking out, there's so much to do, and then you get overwhelmed and then you shut down. Okay, so for June 29th, there is a Leo solar eclipse. I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out, because my midheaven is in Leo. But this is really gonna make you think about where you are in terms of like happiness and love. How happy are you with your life? Do you love yourself? A lot of people tend to think about like the external things with love and outside of themselves, and I want you to take a second to not only think about those things, but talk about, how do you feel with yourself? How do you feel about loving yourself? Do you have love for yourself? How can you foster love for yourself? And that's a difficult thing that a lot of people they just have problems with because loving themselves is foreign to them. So I think June 29th is definitely going to be interesting. And then June 30th, there's Mercury is trining Chiron, and it's also squaring Uranus. So Chiron is going to be, how do we define ourselves? How do we think of ourselves? Who are we? What are our goals and aspirations? What do we feel about particular things? What is it, like, where it is that we want to go? That's what I'm getting with Chiron, and not so much like super like business oriented, my plan for like the next 10 years type of thing. It's more of, for me, I'm thinking of like what brings me joy, what brings me happiness, what brings me peace and solace. Just how am I? How do I react to different stimuli in my environment? That's really what I'm getting from Chiron, from Mercury trine Chiron, and then Mercury square Uranus. He was saying that you need to look in a new direction, and what do you not have, and what is it that you wish to attain. And I think that it's not even just Mercury square Uranus, but that's been a really big theme for a lot of us right now, is how do we match our vision? How is it that we're able to, like, we see like in the long run, this goal, this end point that we have, and how is it that we plan on getting there? Yeah, and I think honestly, again, it's just like breaking things down into action steps, and then also a lot of Google, honestly, making yourself aware of like different action steps that you can take, different resources, investing in yourself, things of that nature. And then he was also talking about Mars retrograde in the moon, which is also in the south node, and that things are going to be shifting up here in the physical, that things are going to happen, things are going to change, they're going to be new, they're going to be different, they're going to be fresh, and things are going to be changing constantly. And we're also in Cancer season, so everyone's going to be in their feelings, but how is it that we're able to stay grounded and adapt to these changes and really see, like, if we want to do better, can we do better, and the different ways that we can achieve that? Networking with people, talking with different people, doing something different with our routine, doing something different with our mindset, things of that nature. And so I also wanted to give a pull for this full moon energy as well. My hair looks a hot mess. Anyways, I'm using the Work Your Light Oracle Card Guidebook by Rebecca Campbell. This just came in last week. And yeah, I really like it. I really like decks that have that whole digital collage theme going on like that. I think that's really beautiful. So I got an interesting card. You have to forgive me, I'm still flipping through the book because I haven't used this a lot. Okay, so this no card, this is good. So this energy right now is all about change, moving on to bigger and better things, and one of the cards that was pulled was no. So usually what we're going to try and do is say no to things that are not in alignment with ourselves, that are not conducive to our growth, that are not going to benefit us. If it's soul sucking and draining, we have to sit there and say, like in a concrete way, this is not for us. This isn't the way that I want to do things and live. What else is there for me to do? And so I pulled on that, and it said, the age of light, you've been training for this for lifetimes. So if there is something that's been calling you, something that you like to do, a way for you to get into your power, and I'm going to talk about this in regards to healers, because that's just kind of the lens that I view things through. But anything that you ever wanted to do, if you want to like be a digital nomad and travel the world, or if you want to travel like national parks and do reviews, or if you wanted to, I don't know, like climb the corporate ladder, anything really, you need to figure out ways to get more of that into your life. And I understand that people can't just like quit their jobs all at once, because they've not only got bills to pay, but they've got like kids or other family members to look after. So how is it that you can bring in your passion, your calling, what you felt that you were brought here to do, what you felt that you came to this plane, this earth, this physical realm to do? Figure out how to bring that into your life and your being. And then another card was the initiation. Okay. Again, everything's new, everything's changing. We're being forced to think of new ways of being, new ways of dealing with change, new ways of like everything. I really feel like I'm saying like the same thing over and over again, but like everything, very, very broad, very a very broad reach with all of this energy that's happening right now. Is just, how else can you do different? How can you get to your goals? And the initiation card to me is saying that we're ready, you know, whether we like feel ready emotionally or not, it's really time, and we're going to be put to the test with this. And then, ooh, there is the ever unfolding rose, cracked open. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Okay, so I think that this is absolutely a beautiful card, because especially like just with the energy that's happening right now, we might definitely feel victimized of like, why us, why is this happening to us? But it could be preparing you to do something else. It could be preparing you to reach out and to go farther and bigger and wherever you need to go. But you might not be understanding the everyday, regular, you know, signs from spirit, and they're going to have to kind of knock you a couple of times to say, listen, okay, you're not listening intuitively to us, so now we gotta have to come down here and say like, look, this is not working for you. You need to stop. Okay, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Really rethink what it is that you're doing, and try and take, you know, the blessings. What is it that you have learned from this experience? Yeah, that's really what I'm thinking of. And then also, it's not super close, so I think that we would also benefit from using some crystals. If you're here and you found my video, you might like crystals, you might not know anything about them really. I'm like looking over here for my smoky quartz. Yeah, so some crystal suggestions for this time. I'm like a beauty guru. Smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is good for removing negative feelings about things. I think it's also got like a great grounding energy, so it's going to help you to be able to move through this time of transition. I've been getting smoky quartz like crazy, so I've definitely been feeling that there is definitely something changing within me on like a personal level. And yeah, smoky quartz, it's great. And then also black tourmaline. I feel like many people know her. Okay, they don't just like know of her, they know her. All right. Black tourmaline is again a great grounding stone. People use it to ground in a whole variety of different situations, whether it's at night during dream time, when they're trying to stay tethered to like their physical form, or to just like ground themselves down into the physical. And I think that's definitely what we need to do, since a lot of things are not only changing on the physical platform here, this physical existence, but just, you know, if you're a person that's really like up in the higher chakras more, and then you need to come back down into your body and really deal with this physical plane and change things down here, black tourmaline is going to be great for that. If you need to like also keep calm and not lose not lose your like your patience, or like not blow up at work or something like that. Black tourmaline is also good for that. You don't have to have it in a raw form like that. You can get something that's polished, because that's a lot easier to carry if you do end up bringing your crystals with you, because I don't know if you can see, but black tourmaline's got like these rod bits here, and I swear like every time I pick it up, there's some that just flake away. So it's a little bit of a brittle stone. This isn't something that I would like carry with me all the time, but it's definitely great. It's got luster. It's pretty. It's beautiful, and it also corresponds with the lower chakras as well. So not only will it keep you grounded, but it could also be used for energy healing of like the root chakra as well. And then also like when you heal that, that also helps with like manifesting money and insecurities, and having like a better sense of community, and really attracting people who are like-minded to you. So yeah, that's gonna kind of do it for me right now with that video. I hope that was definitely helpful. Check me out. I am the Betula Witch on Instagram and Twitter, TheBetulawitch, and I hope to see y'all soon. Have a good one.